Hi, this is Sam going with Siemens PLM Software. Today I have another quick tip for you. What we want to do today is go over one of the functionality in NX Realize Shape. What we want to do is go ahead and start this NX Realize Shape by a simple geometry. I'm going to use a sphere of a certain size. What we want to do is just go ahead and take advantage of using NX Realize Shape. Just drag some of this cage face to a certain direction and also move one of the cage end. And once that is done, I want to go ahead and trim off some of those on the bottom so I can have a sharp base. What I'm doing today is I'm going to design an iron of a consumer product. So I want to go ahead and have a flat bottom. Now once that is done, I want to go ahead and split up some of those faces. I'll be able to take advantage of that. As I split up the faces using the split face command, I want to define how many edges or how many separation number of reference edge that I have. In this case I'll use 2. I want to split that in both ends. Once that is done, what I want to do next is I want to move the front end of this particular cage faces, and then also move the back end of that so I can get a little bit of separation of this the body of this particular iron. Now once that is done, I want to go ahead and just move some of those, the back end of that, just make it a little lower so the transition will look a little bit cleaner. Once that is done, now the next thing what I want to do is I want to go ahead and remove the center faces. By puncture a hole through this, now I will be able to create a kind of a grip for the handle. Now what I want to do next is just go ahead and use the fill command and kind of stitch these edges back in. So once I select all 4 of those edges, now each one of those edges has filled in properly for me. What I want to do next is now I want to take a look at the front end. In this case, any iron will have a sharp edge. I'll go ahead and close off the front end and then also make the second set, the base, a little bit wider. By having a wider face, then we'll be able to provide a better iron surface. And then now what I want to do is just modify the top end, once again using the transform cage command, and then be able to have a proper grip for the handle. Likewise, I want to do the same thing in the back end. I want to open up the back end, and both on the base I want to open up, on the top end I want to narrow that down a little more using transform cage. Once that is done, the next thing what I want to do is I want to go ahead and use the extrude command. The extrude command, using extrude cage, I want to grab on all 3 of those faces, and then what I want to do is just go ahead and extrude that to a certain distance. When that is done, now I want to do is go ahead and expand that. I want that base to have a little broader area, so I want to go ahead and use transform cage. Now this time I want to just drag that using a uniform. When that is done, I notice the front end that still not is what I want. I want to go ahead and extrude another one. So now instead of sharp edge, I have a kind of a nice 2-step to the base of this particular iron. Now I want to do once again is kind of close off the front end to make the front end a little bit tighter and be able to use that for my ironing purpose. Once again using the transform cage, and now I can go ahead and close up the front end, and then on the second set of these cage faces I want to go ahead and open that up a little bit. So this is kind of a quick way for me to create a consumer product of the iron. When that is done, of course, I want to display an ironing board. Having an ironing board, this will make the shape look a little more realistic. So this concludes our demonstration today. Thank you.